So I'm going to talk about, to start this video, the Alex Jones critics and where I think a lot of them are missing the point. The point is, Alex Jones, the real Alex Jones. And a lot of people go in these directions of whether or not he's a Vatican assassin, whether or not he's a Jew. And going in a racially charged direction in this, wanting to know where his wife's from, isn't really helping the cause. Whether or not Alex Jones is a Jew does not give us a deeper insight into whether or not he's a greater sociopath. I refuse to subscribe to those ideas. And I refuse to subscribe to the ideas that all Muslims are terrorists, or that all Middle Eastern people are Muslims. I refuse to believe in racial superiority. I refuse to believe in racial inferiority. So sticking to rhetoric like that gets you nowhere and doesn't attract friends. And I do think that some of these Alex Jones critics out there are not leading people into a greater truth as to what's going on, either with Zionism, Israel, or other things. People come into chat rooms, they emerge in the comment section, and they parrot. Then there's people that generally believe that stuff, and I'm not saying that there's no legitimacy there. I'm saying that making that your only argument about Alex Jones isn't a very good argument. What I think is important to look at with Alex Jones is that he is knowingly deceiving to his audience, and the question is why. Coming up with a hypothesis that everything revolves around Israel and that country and the politics there isn't getting to the meat of the issue as to the role that Alex Jones is playing in the United States, where he's taking his followers. Now that he has amassed a very large following. At one point he had listeners and viewers, a lot of them have jumped ship, and he's left with people that are more gullible, that will believe whatever he says. But Alex Jones knows better. I don't think Alex Jones actually believes that all Muslims are a threat, that a database is needed, that Trump is actually right. Now, why is Trump really doing what he's doing? By the way, there's a podcast by Professor Griff, who was on the Alex Jones show as recently as 2 years ago, and he's flabbergasted with this Alex Jones endorsement of Donald Trump. The fact of the matter is, Alex Jones has telegraphed that he is knowingly deceiving and sending this message. Now, why they're sending this message, Alex Jones and Donald Trump, that's another question entirely. Alex Jones has the benefit of the doubt. He's put out too much good information over the past. I think he knows better. I believe Alex Jones knows better, not only with this situation, but other things. For years, Alex has stretched the truth with many things, and many of us wondered why that was, whether or not, he was just stressed out the moment of the interview, or whether that was, in fact, deliberate to discredit conspiracy researchers. Now there's less of a question around that area. Now it's far more obvious. So for me, the questions are, what is Alex Jones getting America ready for? What kind of hypnosis is he putting his followers under? Because it clearly seems to be some form of hypnosis, as well as overt symbolism being used, and terms and words that can have a huge impact on the brain, as well as potential subliminals, as well as things that are kind of in between subliminal and overt. Examples of that: submit to fear. A total of 10 frames, 6 frames for one word, 4 frames for the other. At 4 minutes and 57 seconds of the Police State Ford trailer, to be exact. Now, what does that have to do with Israel? Absolutely nothing. That clearly was a message that some people would notice, and for others it would literally work like a subliminal, for them to submit to fear. Something that was seen at the tail end of a very fearful trailer. What I can see is an Alex Jones that is deflecting from the realities of the real reasons we're heading towards World War III, the real role China will play, and Russia. He's made the United States the enemy. He's given a pass to China and Russia. He's done this for years, I'm not the only person to notice the Alex Jones free pass to Vladimir Putin. Who knows how many other free passes are going to come later? But Alex Jones clearly seems to be playing a role very similar to that of RT. Gain a large audience, gain a large following, prepare them for a deception. Keep them in a state of fear. Keep the revolution on Facebook. Keep the revolution on the internet. Don't recommend that people go off grid. He doesn't recommend that people really get involved in local government. He has in passing, and he has himself been involved in local government to promote himself. Again, the new Alex Jones has diverted from a lot of the good work of the old Alex Jones. So that's a mistake. Some observers apologizing for Alex's actions, that's the mistake many people are making, confusing the new Alex Jones with the old Alex Jones, because the old Alex Jones got a pass because the good work that he's done. The stuff he's doing now is insightful. People literally are afraid that they're going to get attacked by Muslims and immigrants. There are people walking around doing open carry as if they're sending the message. Now that's disturbing to me. That the work of Alex Jones, the words of Trump, and of course the media and the staged events, the actions of the CIA and other governments, not just the US, but also the lies of Russia, also the lies of China. They also have their own wars with ISIS. Just to remind you, this isn't just about the United States. They've all declared war on ISIS. How convenient is it for Russia to use space weapons against human targets now that they have ISIS? How convenient is it for China to get more active militarily now that they have the excuse of ISIS, now that a Chinese national has been killed by ISIS? They all have the excuse to get boots on the ground somewhere in the world and get their troops combat ready. They're getting their troops combat ready. And the world is seeing China and Russia in this positive light, saviors. And this is a great deception. This is something that my friend Leon Legant, when he came on my Access show, he saw this years ago. The rise of Putin on the world stage as the actions by design of the United States result in the image of America being destroyed, being urinated upon, defecated upon. So we look at the role that Alex Jones is playing. We look at the role that Donald Trump is playing. So what if Trump is not in this to win? And Alex Jones knows that. Some people say that, well, they're just a distraction. Regardless of whether or not they're a distraction or not, and whether or not they have plans for another candidate, this is very likely. They play a role in the destabilization of America's image. And they bait races. I mean, Trump has huge support from the KKK. And we're seeing some of the most outrageous behavior from his supporters. Alex Jones tries to act like he is being a fair and balanced person, like the Fox News motto, saying in a recent video, hey, you know, we're just for curtailing immigration until we figure out what's happening. Well, as if Alex Jones doesn't know what's happening. Why is he backpedaling and running with that narrative where we're going to find out what's going on? What is going on? All-knowing Alex Jones. When Trump will go out there on the world stage and say, maybe we need to target their families. I mean, that's what these drone attacks have been doing. They've already been doing that. Also, that needs to be, they're already doing this. They've already been doing this. People have been in denial that innocent people have been targeted. I mean, the reports have come out. They've attacked people at weddings in Afghanistan. And so what Alex Jones and Trump are doing, they're baiting and attracting racists. And the world sees this. And the world get some sort of idea that this is what Americans are like. And I don't know if there's a consensus right now as to how racist Americans are. I think there's a lot of denial about that, especially from some that might identify to be white. People that have identified to be of a particular race, many of them right now in our country have been really fucked up in the head and have been convinced by Alex Jones and others that there's a white genocide, that the only real racism out there is racism coming from Middle Eastern people, Hispanics, and black people, and whites are always victims. This is a narrative that Alex Jones is pushing. This is very consistent with Nazi ideology. Now, this is not something that I expected from Alex Jones, but it's something that I'm seeing. Regardless of whether Trump is the pick in the end for the New World Order, he is the pick for the New World Order right now to be saying the things that he's saying on the world stage, to whip people up into this frenzy. And Alex Jones to go from talking about a truth behind 9/11, a greater truth, to endorsing Trump's statements about Muslims cheering in New Jersey when 9/11 took place. So this whole bait and switch by Alex Jones is evidence of a greater deception taking place. It's evidence that Alex Jones is playing a huge role in the destabilization of the American image. And it's evidence of how someone can be involved in putting out good information for many, 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 many years, to the point where many of us, it was very difficult years ago to convince us that Alex Jones was a deception. After all, he did such great work. But if all that great work leads to a large audience that will follow you literally over the cliff, an audience that will believe you when you say that this group is the enemy, aspects of that audience that may take violent action against people they fear are immigrants or Islamic radical terrorists, or for any reason whatsoever. I mean, we're seeing the behavior of the Trump supporters and how they're treating some of the protesters and some of the racial slurs that are being said. Obviously, Alex Jones, Trump, and others have been honey for extremist personalities. And so that means that people that aren't extremists, that aren't radicals, that aren't racists, they need to be able to see through this programming and see what Alex Jones is serving knowingly. It's not an accident. If Alex Jones was mentally ill, Alex Jones would not be as successful as he is running that media machine known as Infowars.com or Free Speech Systems, LLC, based in Austin, Texas. If Alex Jones was mentally ill, he would not have created what he's created. I'm Alex Ansary signing off from Taos County, New Mexico, December 16th, 2015.